Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Bookish English. I'm Ariel, and today we're going to do something that you will use all the time. Honestly, it's one of the most important skills in English. It's about talking about yourself. You see, when you meet new people, when you make friends, when you travel, when you join a class, or even when you go for a job, people always want to know about you. They will ask your name, where you're from, maybe your age, maybe your family, what you do, what you like. And if you can answer these questions clearly and simply, you will feel more confident. Right now, maybe you feel shy. Maybe you don't know what to say. But trust me, after listening and practicing with me, you'll see how easy it is. And remember, you don't need big words, just small, clear words. That's enough. So let's start step by step. No rush. The first thing people always ask is your name. This is the door that opens the conversation. The simplest way is to say, "My name is Ariel," or just, "I'm Ariel." Easy, right? You can also say, "My name's Ariel, but people call me Ari." This is useful if you have a short name or a nickname. For example, maybe your name is Alexander, but your friends call you Alex. Or your name is Catherine, but people call you Kate. These small details make your answer more real, more personal. When I introduce myself, I sometimes say, "My name's Ariel, but most of my friends call me Ari," and that usually makes people smile. Oh, and one more thing. In English-speaking countries, people often use short names quickly. It's not rude. It's just friendly. So don't be surprised if someone calls you by a shorter name the same day you meet them. After your name, the next very common question is, "Where are you from?" And this one is really simple too. You can say, "I'm from Pakistan," or "I'm from Brazil," or "I'm from Japan." You can also add a city. "I'm from Cairo." It's in Egypt. That way, if people don't know your city, they still understand your country. For me, I usually say, "I'm from Karachi." It's a big city in Pakistan. Sometimes people ask more, like, "Oh, really? What's it like there?" And then you can add a little more detail if you want, like, "It's hot, but very lively," or "It's small, but very peaceful." Another useful pattern is, "I was born in one place, but I live in another place." For example, "I was born in Lahore, but I live in Karachi now." This gives a little story about your life, and stories always make introductions more interesting. Now let's talk about age. This can be a little tricky. In some cultures, people ask about age right away. In others, it feels personal. In English with adults, people don't usually ask age quickly, but it's still good to know how to answer. The basic way is, "I'm 20," or "I'm 25 years old." You don't even need to say years old. Just the number is enough. "I'm 30. I'm 40. Easy. If you don't want to say the exact number, you can say, "I'm in my 20s. That means maybe 21, 25, 29. Or, "I'm in my 30s. That means maybe 31, 36, 39. You can also use little phrases like, "I just turned 18. That means you became 18 recently. Or, "I'm almost 30. That means you're maybe 29. Personally, when people ask me, I sometimes say, I'm in my early 30s. That means maybe 31, 32, or 33. It's soft and polite. So, if someone ever asks you, you'll have the answer ready. Okay? Now, another question that always comes. Family. People love to ask about family. It's small talk, but it also helps people connect with you. The most common question is, do you have brothers or sisters? The short way to answer is, yes, I have one brother, or yes, I have two sisters, or no, I don't have brothers or sisters. If you don't have any, there's a special phrase, I'm an only child. That means no siblings. For example, I usually say, yeah, I have one younger brother. Just adding the word younger or older makes it more clear. I have an older sister. I have two younger brothers. You can also say how many in total. I have one brother and two sisters, or just, I have three sisters. If you want, you can even talk about your position. I'm the oldest, or I'm the youngest, or I'm the middle child. These little details make your answer more natural. Next, let's talk about where you live now. Sometimes people ask, do you live with your family? And you can answer simply, yes, I live with my parents, or I live with my wife and children, or I live with my brother. And if you don't live with family, you can say, no, I live alone, or I live with friends, or I share a house with classmates. For me, I sometimes say, I live with my family in Karachi. It's simple and clear. Remember, you don't need long sentences. Just one clear idea is enough. Now let's move to another big question. Jobs and study. People love to ask, what do you do? But be careful. In small talk, what do you do doesn't mean what are you doing right now. It means what is your job or what is your study. The easy way to answer is, I'm a teacher, or I'm a student. For me, I usually say, I'm an English teacher, or I teach English on YouTube. And sometimes I add more detail. I'm a teacher. I work in a school. Or I'm a driver. I drive a taxi. Or I'm a cook. I work in a restaurant. Just one small detail makes your answer more personal. If you don't have a job right now, you can say, I'm looking for a job. Or I'm between jobs. That's a polite way to explain. And if you're a student, you can say, I'm a student. I study English. Or I study engineering at university. If you finished, you can say, I studied law. Or I studied history. Sometimes people do both. You can say, I study business and I work in a shop. Or I'm a student, but I also have a part-time job in a cafe. This gives a bigger picture of your life. Now let's go a little deeper. Personality. This one is fun. Sometimes people ask, what are you like? Careful here. It's not, what do you like? It's what are you like? That means your personality. You can answer with very simple words. I'm friendly. I'm shy. I'm funny. I'm hardworking. For example, I usually say, I'm friendly and patient. I like listening to people. That's true for me. Sometimes I also say, I'm curious. I like learning new things. You can use other easy words too, like I'm kind, I'm helpful, I'm positive, I'm relaxed. These small adjectives are powerful. You don't need to use big or difficult words. Just 2 or 3 are enough. In job interviews, people sometimes ask, how would you describe yourself? And then you can say, I'm hardworking, creative, and reliable. That's a strong answer. But in normal small talk, 1 or 2 words are enough. Okay, wow. We've already covered a lot. Name, country, age, family, living, job, study, personality. These are the main things you need to talk about yourself in English. And honestly, once you practice these a few times, you'll feel so much more confident. The key is not to memorize long speeches. The key is short, simple, repeatable patterns. And every time you say them, you'll feel stronger. Remember, practice a little every day. You can even stand in front of a mirror and say, my name's Ariel. I'm from Pakistan. I'm in my 30s. I have 1 younger brother. I live in Karachi. I'm an English teacher. I'm friendly and curious. Look, that's already a full introduction. And it's less than 1 minute. You can do it too. So now that you know the basics, let's practice more ways to talk about yourself in English. You see, introductions are not only about short answers. Sometimes people ask you to share a little more. And when you add small details, your answer feels warmer and more natural. For example, instead of only saying, I'm Ariel, you can say, I'm Ariel, I teach English, and I love books. See how it feels? It's like giving a small picture of who you are. Another example, I'm Sarah. I'm from Brazil. I study medicine. I'm friendly, and I like dancing. That's already a nice introduction. It's short, but also full of life. So, my friends, don't be afraid to mix small pieces together. 1 line about your name, 1 about your country, 1 about your work or study, and 1 about your personality. Done. People will know you better. Let's imagine this. You meet someone new. They ask, what's your name? You say, my name's Ali. They ask, where are you from? You answer, I'm from Egypt. Then they ask, what do you do? And you say, I'm a student. I study English already. You've shared 3 things. And guess what? That's enough to keep the conversation going. The other person might say, oh, wow, I've always wanted to visit Egypt. Or, that's cool, I'm studying too. You see, small answers open big doors. Now let's go a little deeper with likes and hobbies. People often ask, what do you like? Or, what are your hobbies? This is a fun part of talking about yourself. The simple way is, I like reading. I like cooking. I like music. You can also say, my hobby is playing football, or my hobby is painting. For me, I usually say, I like reading books and I love teaching English. Sometimes I also say, my hobby is writing stories. See? Nothing difficult. Just use I like or my hobby is. And if you want to be stronger, you can say, I really like, or I love. For example, I really like traveling, or I love learning new languages. Adding really or love makes it more emotional. and emotions always make your words sound real. Here's another way. You can talk about what you don't like. For example, I don't like cold weather, or I don't like noisy places. It makes your answer more honest, and it helps people understand you better. I sometimes say, I don't like crowded buses, or I don't like being late. So, mix both likes and dislikes if you want. It feels natural. Now, sometimes people ask about your daily life. Like, what do you usually do every day? Or, what's your routine? This is another chance to talk about yourself. And the best way is to use easy present tense. For example, I wake up early. I drink tea. I go to work. I teach students. I come home. I read books. I sleep. That's enough. Or if you're a student, you can say, I wake up at 7. I go to school. I study English. I meet my friends. I play football in the evening. I do my homework. Then I sleep. You see, it's very simple. Just small actions. And it shows people how your life looks. For me, I usually say, I wake up, I make coffee, I plan my lessons, and then I record videos for Bookish English. That's my real daily life. Okay, let's try something new. Describing favorites. People often ask, what's your favorite food? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite movie? These are easy questions, and they help people feel connected. You can say, my favorite food is pizza, or I love biryani, or my favorite color is blue, or I really like green, or my favorite movie is Harry Potter. For me, I usually say, my favorite food is pasta. My favorite color is black. My favorite hobby is reading. And then I sometimes add, I really enjoy walking by the sea. These small favorite things show who you are. People remember them, and you can ask back. For example, if someone asks you, what's your favorite food? And you answer, pizza, then you can ask, what about you? This makes the conversation two-sided, and that's how real communication works. Another thing that helps when talking about yourself is sharing your dreams. People sometimes ask, what do you want to do in the future? Or, what are your goals? You can answer with, I want to be, or I want to. For example, I want to be a doctor, or I want to travel the world, or I want to improve my English. For me, I usually say, I want to help more people learn English in a fun way. That's my dream. You don't need to make it big or complicated, just honest. Even something like, I want to make new friends is perfect. And remember, dreams are personal. Whatever you say is right. Let's think about another situation. Sometimes people ask about your country or culture. They say, what's your country like? Or, tell me about your culture. Don't panic. You don't need a long answer, just 1 or 2 simple lines. My country is hot and sunny. Or, my country is small but beautiful. Or, my culture is full of music and festivals. For example, when people ask me, I usually say, my country, Pakistan, is colorful. It has mountains, deserts, and the sea. And the food is amazing. That's already enough. People don't want a long speech. They just want a little picture. And later, maybe, they'll ask more. Oh, here's something important. Sometimes people ask about your language. They may say, "What languages do you speak?" And you can answer simply, "I speak Urdu and English," or "I speak Spanish and a little English," or "I speak Arabic and some French." You can also add a little or a bit if you're not very strong, like "I speak a little English," or "I speak some German." This shows honesty. And if you're learning, you can say, "I'm learning English now." That's always a good answer because people respect learners. For me, I say, "I speak Urdu and I speak English." I'm also learning a little Arabic, and people usually find that interesting. Now, let's add something more personal. Feelings. When people ask you about yourself, you can share how you feel about things. For example, "I'm happy when I read," or "I feel relaxed when I listen to music," or "I feel nervous in big groups." These feelings make your introduction more human. For me, I sometimes say, "I feel happy when I teach," or "I feel peaceful when I walk alone." Sharing feelings makes your answer real. So, my friends, here's a small challenge for you. Try to build your own little story. Use the pieces we practiced: name, country, age, family, job or study, hobbies, favorites, dreams, feelings. You don't need all of them at once. Just choose a few. For example, "My name is Ali. I'm from Egypt. I'm 20. I'm a student. I like football. My dream is to travel to England." That's it. That's already a full self-introduction. And if you practice this out loud 2 or 3 times, you'll feel more natural. Remember, when you talk about yourself in English, don't worry about mistakes. People care more about connection than perfect grammar. Even if you pause, even if you say or "well," it's okay. That's human. I do it too. Everyone does. What matters is that you share yourself with simple words. And the more you practice, the easier it gets. Now let's take everything one step further, my friends. Talking about yourself is not only about simple facts like name, age, or country. It is also about telling small stories from your life. Stories make you interesting, and they help people remember you. Don't worry, your story does not need to be long. Just 2 or 3 sentences are enough. For example, you can say, "My name is Sarah. I am from Spain. When I was a child, I used to play guitar every day." Or, "I'm Ali. I'm from Egypt. Last year, I traveled to the mountains with my friends." These are short stories, but they show more about you than only facts. So when you introduce yourself, sometimes try to add one little story. It makes your English more alive. Let's practice this together. Imagine someone asks you, "Tell me about yourself." You can say, "My name is Anna. I'm from Poland. I study English. I love cooking. Last weekend, I made pizza for my family." Do you see? It's simple, but it already feels friendly and real. Another example: "I'm David. I'm from Canada. I'm a teacher. I like movies. Yesterday, I watched a funny film with my brother." These short stories connect you with people, and you don't need to use difficult grammar, just small sentences. Now let's add something even more fun: describing your personality. Sometimes people ask, "What do you like?" or "How would you describe yourself?" These are common questions in school, in jobs, and even when making friends. Easy answers are, I'm friendly, I'm shy, I'm hardworking, I'm funny, I'm kind. You can also say, I'm a little shy, but I like meeting new people. Or, I'm hardworking and I love learning. For me, I usually say, I'm friendly, I'm curious, and I love books. That is true about me. So, think about yourself. Choose 2 or 3 words. Practice saying them. And remember, personality words are simple. You don't need difficult ones. Another way is to talk about your family more deeply. Instead of only saying, I have one brother, you can add, I have one brother. He is 15. He likes football. We play together sometimes. Or, I have 2 sisters. They are students. We love watching movies together. This makes your introduction more full. For me, I usually say, I have 2 brothers and 1 sister. We sometimes meet on weekends. We eat together and talk simple, right? But it feels like a picture of my life. Here's something important for you. When you talk about yourself, always try to use the present tense for daily life and the past tense for small stories. Like, I live in Karachi. I study English. I like reading. That's present tense. But if you want to tell a story, you use past tense. Last year, I traveled. Yesterday, I cooked. When I was a child, I played. Don't worry about perfect grammar. Just try to make the verb change. That's enough. People will understand. Now let's practice a role play. Imagine I'm your new friend. I ask you, what's your name? You answer. Then I ask, where are you from? You answer. Then I ask, what do you do? You answer. Then I ask, what do you like? You answer. Then I ask, what's your dream? You answer. If you can say these 5 things, then you can already talk about yourself in English. Name, country, job or study, likes, dream. That's the secret formula. And you can practice it every day, even alone. You know, sometimes people feel nervous when speaking English. They think, what if I make a mistake? Or, what if people don't understand me? My friends, listen carefully. Making mistakes is normal. Everyone makes mistakes, even native speakers. I make mistakes in English sometimes. But that's okay. The important thing is to speak. When you speak, you grow. When you stay silent, you stay the same. So don't wait for perfect English. Start with small introductions. Say your name, say your country, say your hobby. That's enough. Each day, you will get better. Let's add one more fun thing. Favorites with reasons. Instead of only saying, my favorite food is pizza, you can say, my favorite food is pizza because it is tasty and easy to eat. Or, my favorite color is blue because it makes me feel calm. Or, my favorite hobby is football because I can play with my friends. Adding because makes your answer longer and more natural. For me, I usually say, my favorite food is pasta because it is simple but delicious. Or, my favorite color is black because it feels strong. Do you see? With one small word, because your English sounds richer. Now let's imagine you are in a class or meeting. Sometimes the teacher or leader says, please introduce yourself. That's a common situation. Don't panic. Just follow the structure we practiced. For example, hello, my name is Mary. I'm from Italy. I study English. I like music and painting. My dream is to be a teacher that's already perfect. It's clear, it's short, and it's nice. Another example. Hi, I'm Ahmed. I'm from Jordan. I'm 25 years old. I work in a shop. I like football. My favorite color is red again. Very good. Nobody expects you to speak like a professor. They just want to know a little about you. Let's also think about job interviews because sometimes you need to talk about yourself there. Of course, that's a little different, but even then, you can use the same skills. You can say, my name is Sam. I'm from India. I studied business. I'm hardworking and I like learning new things. My dream is to work in a big company that's already strong. You don't need difficult words, just clear and simple. One more tip. When you practice talking about yourself, try to smile. Smiling makes people feel comfortable. Even if your English is not perfect, your smile tells them, I'm friendly, I want to connect. That's powerful. So remember, name, country, job or study, hobby, favorite, dream, personality. That's the golden circle. Now, let me give you a small challenge again. Write your own introduction. Say it out loud. Record yourself if you can. For example, hi, I'm Lila. I'm from Morocco. I'm 19 years old. I'm a student. I like drawing. My favorite color is yellow because it's bright. I'm friendly and I want to be a designer. That's a full self-introduction. If you practice this every day for 1 week, you will feel more confident. And when you meet new people, you'll be ready. Remember, my friends, English is not about long, difficult sentences. It is about sharing yourself in small, clear words. And you already know the words. I am, I like, I have, I want, my favorite. These are the building blocks. Use them, mix them, play with them, and soon you'll talk about yourself naturally, without thinking too much. So, my friends, now let's make our practice even stronger. We talked about name, country, family, hobbies, favorites, dreams, personality, and even small stories. But talking about yourself can also include your feelings right now. For example, you can say, I feel happy today, or I feel tired this morning, or I feel excited to learn English. This is simple but powerful. It shows people your emotion in the moment. For me, I sometimes say, I feel happy because I am teaching, or I feel peaceful because I am reading, and people understand me more. So, practice saying one sentence about your feeling every day. Another useful thing is to talk about your plans. People might ask, what are you going to do tomorrow? Or, what are you doing this weekend? You can answer in a simple way. Tomorrow I will study English. Or, I'm going to visit my friend. Or, this weekend I will watch a movie. You don't need long answers, just short plans. For me, I usually say, tomorrow I'm going to record a new video. Or, next week I will travel to the mountains. Sharing your plans shows more about you, and it keeps the conversation going. Let's also learn how to talk about your skills. Skills are things you can do. For example, I can cook. I can play football. I can sing. I can draw. These are easy sentences with I can. You can also say, I can speak 2 languages, or I can ride a bike. For me, I say, I can teach English. I can write stories. I can make videos. Skills are part of who you are, so don't forget to share them. Sometimes people ask about your favorites in detail. For example, who is your favorite singer? What is your favorite book? What is your favorite place? Easy answers are, my favorite singer is Adele. My favorite book is Harry Potter. My favorite place is the beach. You can also add because, like, my favorite place is the beach because it's quiet. Or, my favorite singer is Ed Sheeran because his songs are soft. For me, I say, my favorite book is The Alchemist because it gives me hope. That makes my answer real. Here's another idea. Talk about your daily habits. People might ask, what do you usually do in the morning? Or, what do you do before sleeping? Easy answers are, in the morning I drink tea. I usually go for a walk. At night I read a book. Before sleeping, I listen to music. These are small habits, but they show your life. For me, I say, in the morning, I always drink coffee. At night, I usually read before sleeping. You can make your own list and practice. Sometimes you may want to talk about your favorites from childhood. This is fun and friendly. For example, when I was a child, my favorite game was hide and seek. Or, when I was young, I liked cartoons. Or, when I was little, I loved ice cream. These short sentences make people smile. For me, I sometimes say, when I was a child, I loved reading comics. It is simple, but it shows a part of my story. Now let's add something very useful. How to answer when you don't know what to say. Sometimes people ask you a question and your mind goes blank. Don't worry. You can use small phrases like, let me think, or that's a good question, or I'm not sure, but maybe. These give you time. For example, if someone asks, what's your favorite movie? And you don't know, you can say, let me think, maybe Inception. That's natural. For me, I sometimes say, that's a good question. I need to think about it. Practice these small fillers. They make you sound natural. Another important part of talking about yourself is asking back. Conversation is not only about you. If someone says, what's your hobby? And you answer, I like football, then add, what about you? This shows respect and interest. If someone says, where are you from? And you answer, I'm from Turkey. What about you? Then the conversation continues. For me, I always ask back. If someone says, what's your favorite food? I answer, then I ask them. That's how friendships start. Now let's practice a longer example. Imagine you are in a new English class. The teacher says, please introduce yourself. You say, hello, my name is Aisha. I'm from Saudi Arabia. I'm 21 years old. I'm a student. I like cooking and music. My favorite color is pink because it's bright. I can play guitar. My dream is to travel to Japan. I feel excited to learn English. Wow. That's a beautiful introduction. It's short, but it has many parts. People will remember Aisha. Here's another example. Hi, I'm Tom. I'm from England. I'm 25. I work in an office. I like football and movies. My favorite food is pizza because it's delicious. When I was a child, I liked video games. I can play piano. My plan is to visit Italy next summer. I'm friendly and I love meeting people. See, that's a full picture of Tom. Not difficult, but interesting. So, my friends, the secret is this. Talking about yourself is not one big speech. It's many small pieces. Name, country, job, hobbies, favorites, dreams, plans, feelings, habits, family, skills, stories. You don't need to use all at once. Just choose a few. That's enough. Here's a little game for you. Take a notebook. Write 10 small sentences about yourself. For example, my name is Ali. I'm from Egypt. I'm 20. I'm a student. I like football. My favorite color is red. I feel happy when I play. I can cook pasta. My plan is to learn English. My dream is to travel. That's already 10 sentences. If you practice them out loud every day, you will feel stronger. And when you meet someone, you will be ready to speak. Remember, practice is the key. Don't wait for the perfect time. Every day, speak a little about yourself. Say it in the mirror. Say it to your friend. Say it to your teacher. Even say it to your phone. The more you speak, the easier it gets. And soon, English will feel like your friend. So, my friends, this is our last part, and now we put everything together. Talking about yourself in English is like building a small house. Each brick is one small sentence. You don't need to build it all at once. You add one piece, then another, and soon you have a strong house. Let's review the pieces again. Your name, your country, your age, your job or study, your family, your hobbies, your favorites, your dreams, your plans, your skills, your habits, your stories, your feelings. That's a lot of pieces, but you already know them, and you can choose any 3 or 4 when you meet someone new. That is enough to start. Now let's do more practice together. Imagine you are meeting me for the first time. You smile and say, "Hello, my name is Ahmed. I'm from Sudan. I'm 22. I'm a student. I like music and reading. My dream is to be a doctor." That's already perfect. And then I will answer, "Hello, Ahmed. Nice to meet you. I'm Ariel. I'm from Pakistan. I love teaching English. My hobby is reading books." Do you see? That is a real conversation. It is simple, but it works. Another example. You are in a cafe. Someone says, "Hi, what's your name?" You answer, "I'm Maria. I'm from Mexico. I'm 19. I love dancing. My favorite food is tacos because they are delicious." Then you can ask back, "What about you?" And suddenly you are both talking. You don't need big grammar, just easy words. Let's also practice short introductions for special places. Imagine you are at the airport. Someone asks, "Where are you going?" You can say, "I'm going to Dubai. I'm visiting my family." Or, "I'm traveling to London for study." Another place, school. A new classmate asks, "Where are you from?" You can say, "I'm from Turkey. I study English. I like football." Another place, a party. Someone says, "Tell me about yourself." You can say, "I'm Anna. I'm from Poland. I like music. My favorite color is blue. I feel happy to be here. Every place is a chance to practice. Now let's talk about confidence. Confidence is not speaking perfect English. Confidence is speaking even when your English is not perfect. Many learners think, I need to learn 1,000 words before I speak. No, my friends, you can already speak with the words you know. For example, I'm Ali. I'm from Egypt. I like football. That is already speaking. And the more you speak, the more words you will learn. For me, when I learned Arabic, I started with only small sentences like, my name is Ariel. I'm a teacher. I like coffee. Slowly, I got better. And you can too. Here's a small secret. When you don't know a word, use another word. For example, maybe you forget the word pasta. You can say, I like Italian food. Or if you forget the word guitar, you can say, I like playing music. People will understand. Don't stop speaking. Keep going with simple words. That is how children learn, and it works for you too. Now, I want you to make a full introduction with many parts. For example, hello, my name is Layla. I'm from Morocco. I'm 20 years old. I'm a student. I have one brother and one sister. My hobby is painting. My favorite food is pizza because it's tasty. My favorite color is yellow because it's bright. I can cook. I can ride a bike. I feel happy when I paint. Tomorrow, I will meet my friend. My dream is to be a designer. Wow, that is beautiful. It's simple English, but it shows everything about you. If you can say something like this, you are ready for any introduction. Here's another one. Hi, I'm Sam. I'm from India. I'm 25. I work in a shop. I have 2 sisters. I like football and music. My favorite movie is Spider-Man because it's exciting. My favorite place is the beach because it's calm. I can sing. I can dance. I usually wake up early and go for a walk. Yesterday, I watched a movie with my family. Next week, I will travel to Delhi. My dream is to open my own business. I'm friendly, and I like meeting new people. That is also amazing. And you can do this too. So, my friends, here is my final advice. Don't only learn these sentences, use them. Every day, speak them out loud. Say, my name is, say, I'm from, say, I like, say, my dream is. Repeat them until they feel natural. The more you repeat, the more your brain accepts them. And one day, you will not even think. The words will just come. That is fluency. And remember, learning English is not about being perfect. It is about connection. When you tell someone your name, when you share your hobby, when you smile, you are already successful. Don't wait. Start today. Speak now.